to toDIYfor. So a little different style video today. I'm currently in what we call our spare bedroom. It's basically a glorified closet. It's a very small room, but we finally figured out a way that we can make this space double as both an office gaming room for my boyfriend and a guest bedroom for when guests come over. So the solution to our problem is to get rid of the massive, big, bulky desk that we already have. And so what I'm going to do with these two cabinets here is kind of create a new little corner shelf so that we can fit in a very small futon from IKEA. Thankfully, they make the smallest futon in the world, but that way we can have that in here and we can pull it out when guests come over, and it actually is comfortable enough for two people to sleep on. So these are something that I've actually DIY'd before. If you haven't seen the video, I had it in my previous apartment. I basically used them as the legs to my craft table that I used to do all of my DIYs on. And then they of course doubled as storage. Now I thought I could repurpose them for this little corner unit that I'm going to make pretty simply. And this is a very basic build, but the biggest thing with these shelves is I need to take out some of these center pieces here to make the shelving actually a little bit bigger. These are not from IKEA. They're quite a small cube shelf. I believe I got them for around $40 from Canadian Tire. So instead of selling them, because I do have some holes in them from my last build, I thought that I would try and repurpose them for this little corner unit. So let's get to it. So as you may have already seen, this shelf, I've already taken out the connector piece right here. And the only reason I did that before I even jumped into this DIY is because I wanted to make sure that like the integrity and the structure of the shelf was still there, even when you took out some of these pieces, because it does make it quite a bit stronger. So this one I'm going to leave with just that one separate unit so that we have a larger shelf here. And the other one I'm going to take out both this one and this one. And I'll show you how I did that. Okay, so just the way these shelves are made, there's a big long dowel in here that connects through to the other side as well. Obviously those are sticking out, and I found that the solution was to use the dowels that are on the other side of this that would basically be going into this piece. They're a lot shorter, and I can just push them right down, and they actually go into the other side here and hold that piece into place. I'll just pop this piece back and screw it together. So I now have my big large shelves, which I'm planning on putting boxes in. So I think I'm gonna use these panels to cover up these solid square pieces, because they'll likely be showing things that are on display a little bit more often. So I'm gonna pop those in. Okay, so this is the corner that the unit is going to go into. So this piece I'm gonna have up against the wall here. Bonus of having this open in the back is that I can actually still access and use that outlet. Probably gonna have it pulled off the wall just a little bit for that as well though. And then the other piece will be tucked in behind it actually. So this is basically going to create more of an L-shape unit, and these back cubes aren't going to be able to be used. That's okay, I don't need the extra storage, but now I have a nice little corner unit here. We're gonna put toppers on them, like as you can see, everything is a little bit beat up, but that's basically the basis of this. I decided not to put legs on it because my boyfriend wanted a lower sitting desk, I guess, for his video gaming. He said he preferred it that way. So otherwise I would be putting legs on it, but we're gonna keep it very simple. So before I move on to putting the topper on these, I want to fill in all of these holes because I'm also going to paint these sides. And I'm just going to be doing that with some wall filler that I have. So I'm going to fill in all these holes from my previous stuff. and kind of make it look a little bit nicer. Okay, so I've allowed the polyfill to dry, and now I'm just going to sand everything down. It'll make the paint catch a little bit better. This is just a very light sandpaper. So I'm just going to use a white paint to paint the sides of these, just because I have it, and I'm thinking a lot of light colors will help make this space still feel fairly big, even though it's very small. Okay, so I have both sides now painted, so it looks good, covered up all of those holes. And while I was filling those screw holes, I also filled these holes where the dowels and the extra boards used to be, filled them with the polyfill, and it looks as though they have disappeared, and this is starting to look a whole lot better. So now we have to put the topper on it. This is pretty beat up, and what I did was picked up this from my hardware store. Now, this is a laminated white wood panel. I'm not really sure what that means. I was looking at just getting a pine board because pine is the cheapest wood that you can get. I couldn't find a pine board that was wide enough though to fit along the tops of here, but also allow me to have a little bit of overhang. So this piece is actually 16 inches by 72, and I just bought one piece and I had it cut into two pieces. So this obviously isn't 72 inches, but I had them cut into two different sizes. So I'll show you how this is going to lay out. This is the long piece, and I'm having it lay here. So there is some overlap on this. So that is why the shelf, this piece is shorter. So it's about 2 inches shorter because the width of this board. It's really going to depend on the boards that you're using, the shelves that you're using, how you do it, but just make sure you measure more than once. I measured multiple times because I've made that mistake before. Yeah, this board's there. That's pretty much all there is to it. We're going to screw this top in from the bottom so you can't see any of those screw holes, and I don't think I'm going to stain it, only because I kind of like the natural wood look, so I think we're probably going to leave it that way. Plus it's less work. Okay, so unfortunately the walls are a little bit crooked, so this isn't going to be as perfect as I wanted it to be, because ideally you would just be able to measure out an inch on this side, an inch on this side, mark it, flip this upside down, and screw it in, which would be a whole lot easier. I need to make sure that this is perfect with the wall, so I'm gonna be doing it like this and just screwing up into it so I can get it in the exact spot so these two pieces can fit together nicely. The only thing left to do is just sand this down, even though these boards are pretty nice and sanded already, and then give it a clear coat of varnish. So like I said at the beginning, this is a very simple build. Honestly, anyone can do this. And I finished it off with just a few decor items and some of the smaller cubed shelves. And then, of course, I hid some of my clutter with those black boxes. Let me know what you thought of this DIY. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe. I'll be back next Wednesday with a new video. Cheers.